Okay, so I'm Holly Ann Walker. I'm 46 years old. I'm a mother of two teenage boys and a proud military wife. So you want our story or journey. Every story and journey has a beginning, middle, and end. My beginning, I've always been active. I've always been on the move. I've always taken my health into account. And when I had my children, I continued to do the same because I wanted to lead by example. And then 9/11 happened. I never thought, even though we were a military family, that I would ever have to face my husband going to war. We didn't have any active wars when we got married. There wasn't anything really crazy going on when we decided to be active duty. And so I guess I was in denial. But 9/11 happened and we started deploying. Once my husband started to deploy, I lost myself. I became this person that felt her duty to her country was to make sure that I could be the best single married mom out there and that I could take care of everything at home so that my husband, the soldier, could protect our freedoms. So I did that. And then we had another deployment and another deployment. By the third deployment, I was this saddened, depressed shell of a person that did everything for her children. All I could do and think about was making sure that they had everything that they needed, that they were happy, that they weren't scared, that they had nothing to worry about when they went to bed like I did. Like, is the doorbell gonna ring? Am I gonna get that notification? When are we gonna hear from them again? I didn't want them to feel any of that. So in that process of taking care of them and thinking that I was doing all the right things, I quit taking care of myself. I stopped being active. I stopped doing anything for myself, and that included as simple as getting a haircut or getting my nails done. I went to work every day. I took care of my kids. I came home. I was a robot, and I became a very sad, depressed person. When my husband got home from his third deployment in Afghanistan, I went to a doctor because I had had these horrible stomach issues, and come to find out, it wasn't depression, it wasn't sadness, it was something called H. pylori. And it's a stomach bacteria that spirals into your stomach lining, causing bleeding ulcers and eventually can cause stomach cancer. I had suffered from it for 3 years, thinking in that 3 years it was part of my body's reaction to my husband being deployed. When I went to the doctor and I began the treatment for H. pylori, I also got on the scale, and whether I was in denial or just bought a whole lot of stretchy pants, I was told that I had gained 45 pounds. I was 168 pounds. And I was shocked. It was like I had no clue. I walked out of that doctor's office and realized I had lost Holly. I had lost the woman that I was. I put on a smile every day. I put on this great act of being this I'm okay military wife. I got this. And I really didn't clearly have it. And so it was that day that I decided to put my tennis shoes back on. I started walking, and yeah, it was hard. 2 miles, wow, from somebody who used to run 5 or 6, 2 miles seemed like a marathon. But I pushed, because with each workout, each time I went out for a walk, each time I took time for myself, away from my children, away from the house, just thought about me, became a little selfish, I felt better. I started to get those awesome hormones that your body lets go when you exercise, and I started to feel better, and I didn't feel so sad, and getting up and moving, it was a lot easier, and my walking turned into walking 100 miles a month. And yes, I mean 100 miles a month. I really did that. Then I began running, and then half marathons, and then marathons. And then I needed a new challenge. And the next thing I knew, I started training at Title Boxing, and oh my God, I got muscles. And one of the trainers said, have you ever thought about competing? And I thought, no, I can't compete. I mean, I've been overweight, I have extra skin, I wouldn't know where to start. I don't lift weights. And I decided to meet with a coach just for somebody to say, yeah, no, you can't do this. And it was the Pierponts. They sat me down, they said, we don't need to wait 6 months, we could do it in 3. You're that close. Let's diet, let's lift, let's go. And I did horrible. Not on their part, just because I was green and I didn't know what I was doing. But the most amazing thing that came out of it was I had this picture of this 168-pound mom that was like a lot of moms out there that were my age, younger or older, that told themselves that they couldn't do it, that this is just the way my body is now. And I did it. And I was this example. I was this example that you could do it, and that, yeah, it's hard and it's not going to happen overnight, but you could do it. And when I got off stage, and by all accounts, I should have been crying and sad and, bummed out that I didn't do as well as we all thought I was going to do. My first words were, when's the next one? I had such a blast, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the challenge, and I wanted to do it again. But like I said in the beginning of the video, my number one goal was I always wanted to be an example to my children. And when my oldest son said to me, said, Mom, if you can step off stage after all the hard work that you put in, not winning, and still say with a smile on your face, when's the next one? How can I ever say I can't do something? Because you've proven to me that if you can do it, then I don't have a right to ever say I can't do it. And that was a win. That was a huge win in my book. So clearly I've kept the weight off. Clearly I continue to compete. And my goal is eventually that I have BB Pro Guard. And not because I want the trophy, although they are pretty. But I want to be able to show my kids that it doesn't matter how hard life has gone, what deck of cards you've been dealt, or how many people tell you because you're this way or that way, it isn't possible. Because I want them to know that if you keep trying and you keep working at it, failure will lead to success, and you learn from your failures. So one day soon, I hope, before I'm in a walker, I will have that pro card. And that pro card will mean so much more than just the title. So, sorry for getting emotional, girl. But I really just want everybody to know that no matter what you've been through, that you can do it. That nobody should tell you that you have limitations, no matter what your age, what you've been through, what you're going through. There is no limit. If you try and you want it, get after it and get it. Thanks.